Recording in progress.
How's that? Is that still too loud?
It's good.
No, it's good.
That's okay? Okay, great. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, Kim.
In case you don't know who I am, I'm Reverend Kim Haley. I wanted to welcome everyone and welcome those here today on Zoom. And also any newcomers today. Are there any newcomers out there that I have never seen before? I guess no. It's all the usual suspects, which is great. So 2025 is the theme of remembering, and the topic for May is the divine feminine. It's in big capital letters here so I don't miss it. And I have magnifying glasses too. I'd like to ask our musician, Patti Hummel, today to open with a song, and then we'll move into the meditation. And we'll have a little silent meditation for a little while as we all know the ropes here. So I'm glad you're all here. I'm going to turn this mic off.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do a chant by the great Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, and it's called The Divine Mother. I thought it was absolutely appropriate for this month, as we remember the Divine Feminine. Engrossed is the bee of my heart on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, my divine mother, divine mother, divine. Excuse me. Engrossed is the bee of my heart on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother, divine mother, my divine mother, divine mother, divine.
Whatever brings love, whatever brings light, whatever allows healing, let it be done. Whatever shares joy, whatever gives comfort, whatever sparks forgiveness, let it be done. May all my relationships proclaim love. May all my relationships demonstrate peace. May all my relationships lift the world higher. Let it be done. Let it be done. Not my will, thine be done. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am open and surrendered. Let me be an instrument of thy peace. Let it be done. Let it be done. May your voice sing forever in me. Amen. That was a poem from Falling Off the Moon by Divavani Lawrence. And I just thought it was a beautiful poem for today. So, thank you, Patti. And now I'd like to bring up John LaLonde for our spiritual thought. Let's give him some encouragement.
Thank you, Kim. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, this is the last Sunday in May, the last Sunday where our topic is Divine Feminine. And gives me the opportunity as the last spiritual thought of the month to kind of look at what other people have said. And so I want to do a little bit of that. We heard talks this month that, we heard things that we knew. We heard things that maybe we'd heard before and hadn't thought about very much. And I heard things that were just flat out brand new to me. So that's a nice mix for it. When I first read the themes for the year and saw Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, I'll be honest, I thought, do I have 5 to 7 minutes that I can talk in a spiritual thought about those two topics? And I answered no, I don't. So it was good. It was good for me to hear some of the talks, because I had some real questions when I saw it. That Divine Feminine, how does that fit in to kind of new thought thinking that we are one in God, God on high, God inside, that kind of we are one sort of thing? Why are we breaking it up into divine other things? I also thought, I use divine spirit interchangeably with God, with those terms, and how does divine feminine, divine masculine fit into divine spirit? So what's, how does all this relate? And so it's a good place to kind of start.
Yeah, over. And right here is free.
I don't know.
Okay.
Divine Spirit speaks.
Do we look up? Do we look around?
And mutes.
So, Reverend LJ answered this kind of confusion that I started off with in her talk when she said divine feminine and divine masculine are aspects of the one life. They're aspects of God. And what that frees us up to do is identify and ponder and consider different characteristics of the one life that relate to the divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy. So it kind of settled me into, okay, now that I kind of get that, what else do I say? Many of our speakers this month talked about some of those characteristics, including divine feminine being nurturing, intuitive, creative, passionate, and compassionate. And that makes a lot of sense. And we've heard a couple of really nice, many of the talks, let's just say all of the talks were very nice this month. We heard John Stanley, our own John Stanley, give his spiritual thought last month in, the most loving, most passionate kind of way. He told the story of his great aunt who saw the disarray in her Kickapoo tribe and stepped up to it, and with her strength and courage led with great inspiration. And so courage was really identified as a trait or a characteristic of divine feminine. We also heard last week, and I wasn't here last week, and through the magic of Zoom, and thank you LJ, Jackie, Laura, whoever does it, it's a wonderful thing to be able to go back. But I was able to watch the talks last week, and Reverend Robin talked about the story of Esther from the Old Testament as a figure characterizing divine feminine. And she highlighted the story of Esther, who choreographed the number of practical steps necessary to get the king to prevent the slaughter of the Jews in the kingdom. Reverend Robert also encouraged us to read the story, which I came here to look through our library and found a book of Bible stories that had the story of Esther in it. So I took it home. I read through the story of Esther, and it's on the table in there, marked where it is, if anyone wants to follow up on that. But the thing that really struck me in the reading of it was the power of the king, that if you went to the king to do some sort of your own personal bidding to the king could kill you. So for Esther to go to the king and say, don't kill the Jews, was not a possibility. She needed to choreograph a number of practical steps to get the king in a position where it was his idea. It's really a very nice story that I had not seen. So thank you, Robin, for that. All of these stories, and considering these characteristics of the divine feminine, reminded me of something when I was working. I was an attorney in the DA's office, and I was representing children. And I was preparing for a trial where there were a number of issues going to be in the trial, but one of those issues was the child's placement. He was a teenage boy. And I didn't have the time to do this often, but because placement was an issue in the trial, I went to interview my client and also kind of check out the foster care home, see what complaints were going to be coming up at this trial. He was a young teenage boy. He was placed with an elderly black couple who had recently moved here from the South. And I asked this couple, how is my client doing in your home? And what the man said is, he's doing well and he will do fine because he has the mother wit. So this term mother wit, I had never heard it before. And so I asked him, what does that mean? And he explained that this teenage boy knows about his day. He is planning, he's preparing for every step. He knows what he needs to do to get ready for the day. And he gave a great example to me that he knows what he needs to get together and take to school. He also knows what he needs to do to get ready for the baseball practice that follows right after that. And in this example, he knew the foster parent was picking him up to take him to a birthday party after his baseball practice, and the boy knew that he needed to bring some clothing that he hadn't just slid into third base in to go to this party. So this boy, he was intuitive, he was creative, he was organized, he had that inner strength and wisdom to take care of his business. All characteristics of the divine feminine and also of mother wit. I remember looking for a definition of mother wit 20 plus years ago, and back then it was just simply looking something up, and I found nothing. With the research tools of today, my second best friend Siri was able to tell me that mother wit is a term used in the South by old black people as a reference to the natural, innate, common sense and intelligence necessary to keep yourself safe, be prepared, and do right throughout the day. I thought that was just wonderful, and so I did a little more research and thought, well, what's the difference between mother wit and divine feminine? And the answer, and in summary, the two concepts overlap, but mother wit is the more practical motherly wisdom and intelligence of the generations, whereas divine feminine is describing a spiritual aspect of God. So, I thought, well, they still sound very similar to me. And it sounds to me like mother wit is kind of the practical, day-to-day ways that divine feminine shows up in our lives. So to wrap this up, it's been kind of a fun thing to kind of notice what in my life am I doing or am I seeing that is an expression of that divine feminine? How is it playing out in a practical, day-to-day sort of way? So to close, I encourage us all to do that.
I love how we always learn something new. I never even heard that term mother wit before. So I like it. I think it's a true statement too. Anyway, that was wonderful. Thank you. And now we have some music by Patti. You're already in motion. Okay, I'm going to turn this on.
Patti needed some water. I don't know about you guys, but this has been like the worst year for allergies. I hardly ever get allergies, but I had it this year. Okay. This is a song by one of my favorites, Patti Griffith, and definitely on topic. It's called Mary. Mary, you're covered in roses, you're covered in ashes, you're covered in rain, you're covered in babies, you're covered in slashes, you're covered in wilderness, you're covered in stains. You cast aside the sheet, you cast aside the shroud of another man who did this world proud. You greet another son, and you lose another one on some sunny day, and always you stay. Place of glory, Mary stays behind, cleaning up the place. Oh, Mary, she moves behind me, she leaves her fingerprints everywhere. Every time the snow drifts, everywhere the sand shifts, even when the night lifts, she's always there. Jesus said, Mother, I couldn't stay another day longer.
the treetops and covered the birds. You could sing a million songs without any words. We cast aside the sheets, you cast aside the shroud of another man who did this world proud. You greet another sun, and you lose another one on some sunny day, and always you stay, Mary.
Beautiful. Oh, I don't have my mic on. Thanks, Patti. That was great. I enjoyed it.
I love that
And
song.
being lulled. Got lulled. And now, today, our speaker, I'll wait for you. It's okay. We can have the crossing and the passing of the baton. It's okay. Our speaker today is the divine masculine Reverend Joe Bull. He's a forerunner of next month.
The divine,
There
that's,
we go.
makes me feel kind of special.
Well, it's a good thing.
Oh, good morning. John LaLonde and I call each other each week and say, we want to wear blue shirts today? Because we look so much alike. I'm with you, John. The feminine divinity and the masculine that's coming next month. A little confusing for me, too. I've never spoken about these subjects before, and I haven't really thought about them. So I did some research and did some reading, and I also had some of my own thoughts about feminine divinity and probably a couple of stories. You know, I'm a storyteller sometimes. Maybe not accurately, but it's a story. Reverend Robbins said that the divine feminine in us is honoring the love and nurturing with us all. I absolutely love that. I think it's very true. We are all blessed to have the intertwined mixture of both feminine and masculine within us. It will talk throughout this. I'll be talking about the union of masculine and feminine, because it's all of it is inside of us. It gives us our balance with each other. I love that Reverend Robin also said that God's face is behind our own. I'd never heard that term before, and I love it, to think that God's face is right behind mine. And it makes sense because we all know that God lives within us. We know this. So I thought that was a beautiful thing to say. You know what, when we talk about the face of God, it made me think of a song that we used to sing in other churches we belong to. It kind of goes very shortly like this. I am the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. So simple, and yet it's easy to remember, and it makes me think about my connection with God. I hope it does for you too. When I think of balance within us, it makes me think about Taoism, which I know very little about, the Chinese ancient philosophy of the yin and the yang. It kind of has the same kind of concept as us, union together with masculine and feminine. The opposing concept of feminine and masculine traits of our bodies gives us, like I said, that balance within us. In Chinese mythology, yin and yang were born when the universe was first created, according to what I read. And they are believed to exist in harmony at the center of the earth. just like it's probably in the center of all of us, that balancing again. And thinking about feminine divine, it reminds me of the roles that women have played in society and how these roles have changed over the years. In general, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, men basically ruled the work world, and women were the housewives. I never liked that term, I'm a housewife. I'm a homemaker, because a homemaker is a very important person within our world. And when I was on calls as a patrol officer, I went to a call where a house had been burglarized, and the woman of the home was home, and she said, yeah, they came in over here, and she was very distraught. I worked with her and talked with her. I said, what do you do for a living? She goes, oh, I'm just a housewife. I said, no, miss, you are a homemaker. That is a very important job. It's a full-time job, as we know. Anyway, during those years of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, women were not, like I said, not very much out in the work area. We had this, men worked, women stayed home. And I've never cared for that. My mom certainly didn't care for it. Kathleen Hite, her last name is Hite, she started in radio, writing for radio as a young woman back in the 50s, and I think even the late 40s. And she kept writing, and she was a very good writer, and CBS Radio picked her up as a writer for them. And she continued to get stronger and better at her job. And she ended up writing for Gunsmoke and 7 other TV shows. Now at that time, that was big for a woman to have that kind of a job. She wrote 54 episodes of Gunsmoke alone. I thought it was incredible. That was really, really cool. It seems to me that we all knew our roles during these times in history. I was very close to my mom, and growing up as a child, I could sense she wasn't happy or satisfied in life. My mom was always going to my school activities and joined the PTA at that time. It was always nice to see my mom there in my classroom with me and watching the activities that we did do. And my mom actually became the PTA president of that district. And that was big for a woman in that time of life to have that sort of role. Well, this did not sit well with my father. He believed the woman's place was at home. And I saw a lot of struggle over time about what men wanted women's role to be and to obey the husband. I never liked that. Even as a kid, I despised that thought. The feminine power, divinity, and presence was being felt by me even as a boy. Changes in society were coming. Women were becoming more and more in society. We are all in the feminine energy when we feel a sense of flow, ease, and openness. And I believe that's what women brought through the feminine divinity. The feminine traits are many. John named some of those, and some of our other speakers have too. There are traits such as empathy, sensitivity, nurturing, collaboration, creativity, intuition, emotional intelligence, kindness, compassion, beauty, grace, assertiveness, independence, and strength. And these are just some of the traits of the feminine. Beautiful, beautiful. Remember, these traits live within both you and me as men and women. That's the beauty of these connecting us to keep us balanced in life. We are in a feminine energy when we feel a sense of flow, of calmness. Our actions are guided by intuition and compassion, being open to be receptive to both our emotions and the emotions of others. That's what the divine brings us as part of us. Reverend Michael Beckwith, who was the leader of the Agape International Church in Los Angeles, he said, feminine energy is rising, and much needed balance in our world is now developing now. The growth of feminine energy is here today, he says, and moving forward. A quick story for you again. When LaLonde decided what she wanted to do in life, in the business world, she got hired, and I don't have all the facts correctly. I can tell by her face that I don't. But she got hired into an insurance firm to sell life insurance. And so I helped her. We got a desk for her and, you know, a chair and a file cabinet and a phone, and that's how she got started in this business. And she was constantly studying and reading all about how to sell insurance and other products to people. Her boss was a very wise man, really nice guy. I got to know him pretty well, who supported LaLonde as she got started. I remember her getting so excited about having her first client appointment. She was so excited, and she was scared to death at the same time. She's talking to her boss. He goes, well, what if they don't want this, or what if they don't want? And her boss says, LaLonde, they're coming to you, which means they want to buy something from you. And he really calmed her down. He was really a wise person, and very helpful to her in getting started. She went on, of course, to sell not only life insurance, but be a financial planner. And she moved from certain offices to others. And then she started her own business, Bull Financial and Insurance Services. What a great name for a stock type of thing, right? Bull Financial. Yeah, she was very, very successful, and she just recently retired from all of that. Reverend Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, said through the teachings emphasizing the power of thought and the interconnectedness of all things can be interpreted through divine feminine principles. Reverend Holmes also emphasized the importance of listening to our intuition and inner knowing, which aligns with the feminine divinity. Emphasis on feeling and emotional intelligence. Love and compassion are so important. I wish my dad was here today to hear this stuff. He was way over on the other side of the aisle. But that's how he was raised. And Reverend Holmes encouraged living from a place of love and compassion, which resonates with the divine feminine's ability to connect with all nature and nurture everything in life. Science of Mind teaches us that we are all co-creators with the universe. We truly are. That our thoughts shape our reality, and this aligns with the divine feminine's role as a creative force, fostering new beginnings and possibilities. LaLonde was also the first woman to be accepted into the South Fresno Lions Club. This was a guy thing, right? And a very good friend of ours, Mike, and they're still one of our best buddies today, he belonged to the club, and he brought LaLonde with him to introduce her to the guys, and he wanted to sponsor her to join the club. Well, of course, the guys are all folding their arms going, hey, wait a minute. You know, so that was another big step in a moment of a woman stepping into a man's world, even in clubs. And they ended up loving her. And I got to meet all those guys, and they are a lot of fun. I think the youngest members are like 80. And we're quite elder, some of them, but really a fun group of people. And LaLonde did really well and enjoyed that time with them, as I did. You know, I truly believe my mother, I was a young boy coming home from school, and I come in and say hi to her and give her a hug. And I go into my bedroom. My bedroom is all neat and clean and orderly. And my mom comes in and sits down with me, and she goes, "You like the way your room looks, son?" I say, "Yeah, Mom, I love it." She goes, "Could you do me a favor and help me keep it this way?" I said, I hadn't even thought of it, because I was taught that this was woman's work. That's how I was taught. And I said, "Yes, Mom, I'd be glad to help you with that." And I did. Every day I made my bed, put all my stuff away. My mom taught me how to wash clothes and to dry them and to iron. My mom was a great cook. Her chili beans are to die for, and I still make those. She taught me about lessons in life and how to function in life. And that nurturing ability, that feminine nurturing ability coming out of her for me to receive, it would really help me out. As some of you know, I left home at a very young age, and it really paid off to know that I could function. I believe that the feminine divinity in all of us helps keep us, like I said, calm, and all things even for us. Reverend Michael Beckwith goes on to say that the feminine energy brings together community, purpose, and design. It's like Mother Earth holds and carries herself for us. We don't have to think about that or worry about how Mother Earth is doing. Is she holding us okay? Are we going to be, in trouble soon? No. Mother Earth knows what Mother Earth does. Mother Earth, in her feminine energy, heals herself, develops growth, and brings us a feeling of peace, knowing how we can go on about functioning our lives as human beings on this beautiful planet. Reverend Beckwith also said that just as the feminine holds and carries the earth, every day is new now. The feminine in us is welcoming something new each and every day. Each and every day. Reverend Beckwith goes on to say that we are not here to react to life. We are here in the activity of life. So grab it. Go for the gusto. Go for what it is that you want, knowing that we have that balance of the divine feminine in us. We are not here daily to just accept status quo. We are here with a purpose, on purpose. As the divine feminine in each of us continues to grow, and it does, it means we are here to continue to discover the next thing out there, the next best thing for us. What might we do next is a question I ask myself. What might we do next? When we go within and meditate and pray, those answers come to us, don't they? using that divinity to our advantage. In spiritual growth, continue to reach out for our highest good, our feminine divinity pushes us toward the next best thing. We are here to rise up to the next chapter in our lives. Can I get an amen for that?
Amen.
Rise up. I love that. We must yield and surrender to our spiritual self with God's Spirit's source. We are the creators every day because we have this beautiful balance within us. And we have intention. Always have intention. We are the spiritual stuff of our Creator. So let's act like it until it comes out of us naturally. Yes, we have duty every day, but we also have time to rise up and give thanks for who and what we are and what we're becoming. We are growing. And the sacred divinity of feminine is constantly growing. And I feel that balance coming. After all those years as a little boy, thinking, well, this is how it is. Men work, women stay home. We've come a long way on where we've come and where we've been. In closing, I ask that when we meditate, ask to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. Surrender and yield to ourselves. Our spiritual center is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen, because of you. We come together to evolve in our growth and especially in our feminine self. And so it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. I was thinking about how, I don't know if this is on, oh, this is not on already. Anyway, I was thinking about how my mother had, would say to us, oh, go make your brother's bed. And I'd say, well, what's wrong with him? Has he got a piano tied to his hands? Anyway, and she'd say, he's a boy. And I said, And to this day, my brother washes clothes for his wife. He cleans the house with her. He does that stuff, and he doesn't feel any less for doing it. So it's so nice that your mom was the way she was. I really appreciate that. And I love my mother. I'm just saying she was just different, in that regard. We had a few arguments about it, but that's okay. I have learned to let it go. Maybe. Anyway, let us do the offertory right now. So if anyone would like to volunteer to come forward and help with that, I would appreciate it. We all would appreciate it. We have these lovely bags. Yay, thank you. That's a pretty top. I love that top. Senior assistant. Okay. We'll do the prayer. The offertory, divine love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And now you can, yeah, that's great, thank you. I want to remind people about the frog box, which is if you need a prayer and you can't stay today, you can leave something there, request, and also those watching our service on Zoom, you can tithe by going to the iFocus email, pressing the green button, or mailing a check to the Positive Living Center, P.O. Box 2683, Oakhurst, California. I think that's up there somewhere. I think it's there. I don't know.
They know it.
They know. Okay. I can't see you, but hi. Thank you. come to that spot in the service called announcements. Ta-da! Are there any announcements? Oh, yay, Joe, come on up.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
After service today, we're going to have a gathering in the back because today is Reverend LaLonde's birthday. I tried to keep it a secret, and I don't think I did a very good job because she's pretty nosy.
Intuition.
Oh, it's intuition, that's right, not nosy. Well put, yeah. So there'll be a gathering after that, so we can celebrate with her birthday officially today. And after that, I'm parked right over here at my car, backed up. We've got, LaLonde and I went to the Emerson office and grabbed a bunch of books that we're going to add to the library, and they're in boxes in the back of my car, and I could use a little help from some people to help load them into the library. That's all we need to do this morning. It'll be very quick and easy. But we'll have I'm going to do the celebration first, dear. You want to load the books for, we're going to load the books first.
It'll be very quick.
It's a reward cake.
Yeah, get the work done first.
Okay, we'll do the work and then we'll drink the beer. Okay, very good, thank you.
Yes.
Juana's going.
And from an astrological point of view, as you've gone around the wheel, they call it your power day because it's when the sun is in the same place it was when you were born. So it's a solar return. It returns to the place where it was when you were born at the degree. It's a degree thing. And so I call it a solar return. So happy solar return. And we do have a card for you here. And we do want other people to sign it. Lots of people have signed it already, but they can sign that at the end too for you, so that they'll get to do that. Really nice card. So now we have our prayer partner this week is Patti Hummel. So if you can stay after, Patti will be. Huh? Well, that's what it says here.
John?
Oh, it's John. Why is that? I'm always getting. Well, never mind. I don't want to blame anybody here. Sorry, John. It's John LaLonde that will be in the back as your prayer practitioner, and he will support you if you have any questions, and that will be back there. Sorry. It was written down differently because, never mind. Next week's speaker is Reverend Judy DeRosa, Reverend Judy DeRosa. Come next week to hear her talk.
Yes.
And it's actually going to be the first, that's going to be the first talk on the divine masculine. Just a little preview.
Your book, yeah.
If you have been feeling left out as a male,
Don't.
which I didn't get from Joe's talk at all. All right. So that will be great. What else do I have to say? Any other announcements? Does anybody else have another announcement? Okay, then. I guess we'll just move on to do the prayer of protection. Okay, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. That's great. And we'll have a closing song.
You sure can.
Okay, so Patti, take it away.
This song is, it's a Tracy Chapman song, but it's definitely about Mother Witch. I'm just, I love that. Oh, my mama told me, 'cause she said she learned the hard way. She said she wanna spare the children. She said don't give yourself your soul away. 'cause all that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a word of truth. 'Cause all that you have is your soul. I was a pretty young girl once. I had dreams, I had high hopes. Married a man, stole my heart away. He gave his love, but what a high price I paid. All that you have is your soul. Don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a word of truth. And all that you have is your soul. Here I am waiting for a better day, a second chance, little luck to come my way. I hope to dream, I hope that I can sleep again and wake up with clean hands and clean hands. All that you have is your soul. And Mama said, don't be tempted by the shiny apple. Don't you eat of the bitter fruit. Hunger only for justice. Hunger only for truth. 'Cause all that you have is your soul. That's what Mama said, that all that you have is your soul.
That's so true. Okay, turn it off again. Turn it back on. Thank you, Patti. I really like that song. I'm going to ask, who would Judy like to come up and do the closing prayer? Okay, that would be great. I wish everyone a wonderful week ahead. I'd like to see you next week and hope you stay and have some cake and celebrate.
Hey. All the wisdom, all the sharing, all the honesty, all the happiness that we carry within our being is truly a part of who we are. And when we live our lives authentically, and we learn, and we love, and we play, we bring that balance of the feminine, the divine knowing, the wisdom of all. The source is with us always. Aho.
Aho. Thank you, Judy. I also wanted to just thank Laura Haith, who got the cake and got everybody together and got the card and did the work for that. So thanks, Laura, for reminding us. Yay. So now we just need to get some books.
That would be easier, yeah, faster.
I can help get some books. You can load me up.
I'm gonna back my car over here on this back door. Go right into the library and we go.
Oh, I do. I usually that's
It's a good one. It's a good one. Work it as long as you can.
It's written over there. Okay. That's which one to turn off.
Did you? You're all done?
I'm going to give that card. The card is there.
I see most things there. Yeah, they'll have to give it to them. I think it was I think that's
We've got three boxes in our.
yeah, guys I didn't want
Or 2 people. You know, there's 3 boxes and we're down there. The rest of they were managing.
well, it's in the did 2 surgeries on my eyes, 3
Wow, thank you. You show up, I love it.
Oh, look at that. I can't wear store-bought. He's carrying 2. I just got one.
You just show up.
Bill has 2. Show Wyoming. Because they
Yeah, just stay right there, LJ.
oh yeah.
Got them all?
Yes.
About 30 seconds.
We miss you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I did see the Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was a while ago.
No, graduation.
Oh,
It was all good. We flew to Minneapolis and then Gene drove craziness. And how are you doing, Brad? Yes. From what you said. So, I didn't know if that meant. If you have to choose.
Kim.
Don't fire me about
Thank you, Miss Patti. Thursday, like Gemini crab.
Right in the heart of it.
Yeah, I love Gemini.
Your stick. I love your Capricorn. Reliable. Yeah, and leadership. Oh, yeah. Cardinal sign. No worries. Wonderful. Commit to those sounds good. And also, I would love to be which is always on the solstice or the November. Because of the Your special signature way of embracing that. Yes, and all the anything we want to feels like make it special. Each one of them, like unique to their. Yep. So if you'd like to use all right, consider it done. Have fun time.
I'm retired. I still wake up.
Don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Are you done with your water, or did you want to take it?
Oh.
We'll make sure you got it.
Oh.